So, freedom of speech, does it still exist? And the reason I'm even bringing this up is because on my page, I get a lot of people commenting, saying different things, and I can only see them, but for some reason, when I go into the actual comments, they're removed. And what I started realizing is that the platform itself removes certain messages when they deem it against the community guidelines. So I'm not gonna, there was certain wording that he used that fit towards the alphabet group, and what ended up happening is he was addressing my why is getting psychiatry, or why getting a psychiatrist is still taboo. And he made his own points on it, and he was speaking about stuff from past times, but my thought process was on, even up till today, how is that still taboo? Because a lot of those things don't apply no more. But I understood his context, what he said. I even thanked him for making a comment on there. But then he did another comment, and that one was removed. And he was still making a good point. I'm not going to argue that, and what he said, because it was still something that was actually on board. But what I noticed is because they removed his writing due to trigger words, or, words that they locate and notice. And, across the board, I've seen people's pages where they're very cautious of words to use because it dings their platform. They can be demonetized, whatever the case may be, or it can be blocked. There are times where you'll see videos that are possibly blocked. So that's why it brings up the question, does freedom of speech still exist? Or freedom of speech, does it still exist? Because if at any time that you say something, it can be removed, blocked, stopped, you're automatically running into a problem of that, because freedom of speech is supposed to be stated wherever it is, doesn't matter. Now you have to deal with consequences of it, but if it's blocked to where people can't even see it, there's a problem. Now, if you say something and somebody tries to cancel you for it, but you still had your right to say it, that's the thing that we always want to keep intact. No matter what it said, you got a right to say it. Yeah, you got to deal with the consequences on the opposite end. Freedom of speech doesn't mean that you can't pay for what you say, but the goal is to not be blocked, stopped, or anything like that. We don't want that to be the problem that exists within the community, but you're starting to see that a lot, and it definitely started within the last 10 years. It's been slowly working its way up into this point where people will literally try to stop you even if you're saying the truth. And the person's post, what he had put, was the truth. I don't see anything wrong with it, but I noticed that it was certain words he used that were not offensive. These were actual words that this group actually adhered to and calls themselves by, but it was still blocked. So if it's, what's the guy's name? Anti-psychiatry. If you seeing this, understand I did not block you. I don't block anybody's comments. I make sure I allow all comments to be on there. The only reason you don't see it is because they blocked it, not me. And I definitely don't agree with that type of behavior, because I definitely want people to see other people's comments, see how I respond to them, because my goal is never to argue. Hey, I saw your point of view, makes sense. Hey, I'm rocking with it. Hey, pleasure, much love. And then on to the next thing. So, definitely a sad thing. We definitely want to keep an eye on that type of behavior, because eventually you won't be able to say anything, because a lot of people are like, well, I'm moving to Canada, or I'm moving here. A lot of those places don't have freedom of speech. And a lot of people don't understand that. Freedom of speech is not everywhere. It exists here. And even now, that is being restricted. And you have to be worried about that. You have to be very mindful of what's being done. You don't want this to be done to y'all. But a lot of people are like, yeah, they shouldn't be able to say what they want. But that's the purpose of conversation. You say what you want, and then I say what I want. Now, how we go from there depends on the mindset of the individual. But to have freedom of speech should always exist. Hence the reason I'm able to do this page. If freedom of speech didn't exist, I would not be able to do this page, because they would be watching everything that I say. Even now when I upload videos, you got to wait for it to go through not only the uploading and processing, but now they have a checking point where it checks everything to make sure it's good enough to put up on there, or up on the page. So yeah, these are things that you definitely want to keep an eye on. But thanks again for tuning in. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe, because people are being taken off of the subscription. So yeah, show your boy love, click it, it's free, and be on the lookout for more videos. All right? Peace.